Wow, what a difference. The Talkbuster Podcast.
All right, everybody. How's it going? This is Chris Chipman from the Talkbuster Podcast. I hope everybody's doing great. Doing something a little different. This isn't a formal episode of the show, but I thought this was an exciting thing to do. So first of all, if this is your first time ever seeing me, welcome. If you're listening to this as an audio-only podcast, this is going to be a video-based podcast. I'm making the audio available for download only because about 500 of you seem to always download the audio, and I get about 25 to 50 views on YouTube. So I want to make sure people see this video. So if you're listening to this, keep listening if you want. It's like, a comedy special if you're listening to the recording and he's going to do all kinds of sight gags and you're not going to get what's going on. But if you want, click stop on the audio, go find my YouTube page. It's easily linkable through where you found this. I'm Chris Chipman, the Chippa made this. All those names will get you there. The Talkbuster Podcast will get you there. These are all under the umbrella of the Chipman Brothers Tangent. So if you're finding this through Libsyn or somewhere else, that's what it'll be under. The Chipman Brothers Tangent is a podcast to do with my brother, Movie Bob, who you may have heard of. That kind of started all of this. I do the Creating Geeks podcast with my wife, Sarah, which is a sharing things from our childhood with our children, kind of raising geeks, creating geeks as it's called on podcast. I also do Shooting the Shit with Chippa, which is very similar to the Chipman Brothers Tangent. It's interview style, kind of just back and forth, free-form conversation. But I have different people than my brother on. Most recently, I had the writer, executive producer, and editor of the film Arctic, my friend Ryan Morrison. On that movie starred Mads Mikkelsen and is in theaters right now. You should go check that one out. But I'm here to talk to you today about a follow-up to my podcast with, outside of the guy from Arctic, my friend Ryan, the biggest guest I've ever had. And I can't believe she agreed to be on my show. In particular, how topical it is for it being a blockbuster-themed podcast in the Talkbuster Podcast. But Sandy Harding, who you may have heard of recently, is the general manager of what is now the last Blockbuster video on the planet Earth, which those of you that have never been to a Blockbuster might not see as being such a big deal. I mean, we've got Netflix, we've got Redbox, we've got everything else. But if you've ever listened to this podcast before, Blockbuster was more than that. And the video rental industry as a whole was more than that, and it's gone. So the whole point of this podcast was to talk that up and reminisce about those times. And wouldn't you know it, but Sandy still works at one. And more than that, wouldn't you know it, she wanted to be on my show. I know, I was just as surprised as you. Well, you can go to the New York Times or Fox News or Inside Edition or the LA Weekly, you name it, or just the local Bend, Oregon paper, or, a local paper here in the Boston area, you're going to see an article about the last Blockbuster in the world. It's a pretty big deal. The last one in Australia closed. Sandy posted on her social media that she got a call from them, and is now the last one in the world, very shortly after being named the last one in America after the stores in Alaska closed. So here I am, where you got all these other places getting these 2 or 3 minute interviews, these little puff pieces that are great, mind you. Sandy's a blast to talk to. She's awesome on camera. She's awesome over audio. All of the employees, her son Ryan, who was just over in the UK for the Dave Berry Breakfast Show to deliver him a copy of Point Break, is an awesome guy to talk to. I hope to have him on the show too. In fact, that's the plan. But while all these people are getting these short little interviews, Sandy sat down with me for an hour and a half. And so if you really, really want the back and forth, if you want an episode of the Talkbuster podcast that sounds like me and my friends reminiscing about something we used to do, here I was talking about someone who's still doing it, and it's exactly the same. They're using the same computers. The store codes are done the same way. In fact, they entered me under my old employee number, 225-032-20406, which is my very first number from 25032, which was the Blockbuster in Salem, Massachusetts. and they put my account into their systems. And now I have a Blockbuster account again in Bend, Oregon. And that's super cool. And that makes me really happy. So I get this hour-and-a-half conversation. If you haven't listened to it, it's linked in this video as well, or it's at least linked in the description. Stop this, listen to it. This is going to give you a cool preempt. But what I'm here to talk to you about is, during that interview, I talked to Sandy about some things they have on sale at Blockbuster in Bend, Oregon. And it's all stuff that they've had on sale to benefit the store. Because unlike Blockbuster back in the day, there's not a big corporate entity keeping them funded. You know, they have to go out and get the videos themselves. Yeah, they have Dish Network, you know, licensing the name and everything, but they're kind of on their own. And so they've made t-shirts, they've made magnets, they've made bumper stickers. My wife is making fun of me from over in the corner, and you can probably see her in the window. Hi, babe. She's actually the other voice in the Wow, What a Difference, the Talkbuster podcast from the beginning of the show. But anyway.
The few times he lets people talk on his show.
Yes, the few times I let people talk. So anyway, back to that. So they have all this stuff, and I was really amazed and happy with them. And so I had asked on the show, hey, how can I get a hold of some of that stuff? And when the recording stopped, Sandy let me know how I could get a hold of it. And what's cool is, you know, the people that own the store that she works at, who have been the ones that have always owned it and owned, I think, all the franchises in Oregon, also own a UPS store. So she's able to get things boxed up and shipped out pretty good. So here I have a nice box from Sandy from the UPS store in Bend, Oregon. And I'm going to go through it on camera and do a bit of an unboxing and show you guys what I got. This is paid merchandise. You know, I'm not in this for favors or anything. But there might be some surprises for you patrons of mine as well in here. So remember, that's patreon.com/thechippa. Every penny, every dollar, every $20, whatever helps. I'm a father of two. My wife's a stay-at-home mom. This is my other source of income other than my full-time job as a mechanical engineer. We're going to have some fun opening up this box. So here we go. So first on the docket, outside of some really, really nice packing air bags, is super cool. The Blockbuster in Bend, Oregon t-shirt, extra large for this huge gentleman right here, with the last Blockbuster in America. Now, you'll see at the pictures I'm going to put at the end, there's going to be photos of all of this stuff, so you can see how much it costs, and I'll tell you guys how you can get it yourselves. You know, the reason this is the last one in America is because they've had these on sale for a while, and they just became the last one in the world. So they've got the last one on planet Earth shirts as well. So you'll be able to get those, and I'm going to be getting myself some. And before I continue going through the box, I forgot to mention, when Sandy's son Ryan, I had sent her an email and got it all figured out what I was going to order. Ryan called me up to actually place the order because they had to run my credit card, you know, through at the store, right? So I get a phone call, you know, I'm actually homesick because I had the flu, but I get a phone call, I'm in the house, and this, you know, young voice on the other end of the phone says words I never thought I'd hear again. Hi, this is Blockbuster video calling. Is Chris Chipman there? And it kind of blew my mind. And it was Ryan from Blockbuster, and he rang it through. And then I go and look at my bank account later, and I posted this on Twitter, and I'll probably post it with this video again. I had a charge from Blockbuster Video on my credit card. I'm surprised Bank of America didn't bump it, thinking it was fraudulent, because why would anyone from a Blockbuster be charging anyone these days? And there's another shirt in here for my wife. Haha. And there she is over there. This is your shirt, if you didn't know.
Hooray! I was going to come photo bomb, video bomb, but you started opening the box too soon. So.
Oh, sorry. You can come in at the end if you want. All right. And this, my favorite thing in here, is a Blockbuster hooded sweatshirt, which when I was in corporate, working for the corporate world, which is a franchise store, we never had these. So this is really cool. And it also says the last Blockbuster in America. And there's also ones now available that say the last on the planet. And this shirt is not from Blockbuster in Bend, Oregon. This is from Target.com, and it's awesome, and you should check that out too. But I think the Bend, Oregon store needs your money over Target. All right, what else do we have in here? Oh, so this is really cool. I think, and Sandy can probably comment and verify, but I believe she said she handmade these. This is a knit Blockbuster winter beanie cap, which I'm going to put on even if it makes me look silly and wear for the rest of the video because I think it's awesome and I want Sandy to see me wearing it. And I'm going to tilt this up so you guys can see it. It's kind of a Tom Brady kind of thing going on with a little ball there. Right? All right. Oh, and these are really cool. So if you guys didn't know, they're making a movie about the last blockbuster on the planet when it was the last blockbuster in America. And they did a Kickstarter. And one of the other things they did to help raise money for the movie was a local brewery, and I think I'll get the name off this bottle, brewed a beer for them. I'm going to eat it. It's a black ale. It's called the Sinistore Black Ale with nuances of red vines, which is really cool because what's more like a movie theater or a movie video store than red vines, those little licorice ropes. So you can't ship beer, and I'm probably special for getting this, but I wanted to show it off anyway because I think it's awesome. Sandy sent me two empty bottles because I have a beer bottle collection. I love craft beer of the last Blockbuster beer, and I'm going to take it out of this packaging so you guys can see the label because I think it's awesome. The last Blockbuster Sinistore Black Ale with hints of red licorice, which were red vines. Super cool. It's from 10 Barrel Brewing Company. 10 Barrel Brewing Company, because this is what I get for not doing any prior work, is in Bend, Oregon. They've been around since 2006. 10barrel.com is their website. And in Massachusetts, unfortunately, I don't think I can order beer. But if you guys want to give them your patronage, I think they'd love it. And I bet you this beer was awesome. And I really wish I got to try it. But the next best thing is having one to put up on my wall. So thank you very much, Sandy. And along with that are these really cool, and I imagine they're made out of this cool rubbery material so, they don't get thrown and broken at events. I don't have a single beer glass like this, and now I have a beer glass that says the last Blockbuster in Bend, Oregon, and I have another one, which you can buy both of these from the Blockbuster in Bend, Oregon. And another empty bottle. Thank you very much. And we're getting to the cool stuff now. We're getting to the stuff that benefits you guys. But first, the thing that means the most to me is my Blockbuster membership card. I haven't had one of these in a very long time. I lost mine. It says the last Blockbuster video in Bend, Oregon. It has my name handwritten, which don't know if it was Ryan or Sandy, but that's pretty freaking cool. And from what I know, it's under my original employee numbers in their system. Hopefully I'll get out there someday and be able to check it out. But I think this, out of everything in here, is the coolest damn thing. Thank you guys very much. Okay. Ooh. And also, and I'll be sharing a picture of this later, this is a handmade Blockbuster magnet. I believe it's made by a local company in Bend, Oregon, or a local company in the area. It's super cool. It's super hefty. And again, something I never had from back in the day. So hopefully you guys can get a hold of some of these as well from them. I think they're awesome. I think it's actually numbered. Yeah, it says this is number 16 out of 100. It has a J. I'm assuming that might be the initial of the person that made it. Again, this is wicked cool, and I love it. Okay, and now we get to the thing that benefits my wonderful, lucky patrons. Now, of course, you got to do something for me. So I'm at about $215, $220 a month on my Patreon for these 4 podcasts. Since the first of the year, I've put an episode out a week, at least a month. This past month, March, I've gone crazy because I've had these special interviews with Sandy, the special interview with Ryan. I tried to get things out more. So I've actually done 5 or 6 podcast releases this month. But again, I'm going for a minimum of 4, releasing them every Monday at 11 p.m. Eastern. That seems to be a good sweet spot. Getting really great download numbers. I thank every single one of you, regardless of if you can afford to support me. Even a download and mentioning it to somebody is awesome. But I want to get that up there. So how do I get that up there? By bribing you. And so I bought some extra stickers, brand new stickers. At least one out of the 2 are brand new. from the last Blockbuster in Bend, Oregon, and they're brand new to you because unless you live there or unless you've ordered stuff from them already, you don't have these. So I've got these two awesome stickers. This is one, the last Blockbuster on the planet in Bend, Oregon. I really love the design on this one. And when you see the photos I put on the end, they have a couple other designs, but this was my favorite one. And this other bumper sticker, which says, I survived along with the last Blockbuster in Bend, Oregon. So I have 10 of each of these. And what does that mean? There are about 60 of you right now that are patrons of mine. So if you all add an extra $1 or two to your patronage, get me up to $300. That's what I'm looking for, $300 a month. As soon as we hit that level, I'm going to pick 20 of you at random, and you're going to get either this sticker or this sticker. And that's the idea. So get up on there, get those Patreon numbers up. I, of course, would do this for free because I absolutely love it. But the more money that comes in, the easier it is for me to not do the other stuff that I do. And the more time I get to spend with my wife and my 2 kids. So you want these. I know you do. They're awesome. I'm keeping one of each of them for myself. But 20 of you, 20 lucky patrons, picked for the random number generator in Microsoft Excel, the future, are going to get one of these. I'll pick you at random, get in contact with you through Patreon, figure out the postage. I will pay the postage, and I'll get this stuff out to you. And maybe I'll even sign the back of them or something crazy like that. So get me up to $300. These are yours. Thank you, Sandy, and the people at Blockbuster in Bend, Oregon, for sending these my way. Now, you might say, hey, Chris, I like this stuff. I also like all the other stuff that you've been showing me. How do I get some? Well, what's really cool is that I've been, having conversations with the folks over at Blockbuster in Bend, Oregon. And as I'm attempting to be the portal for them to get to the world in the longer form and hope to have them on more, like I said, I really do. I want to, every couple of months, get them on even for a short podcast and update you, my fans, my family, my friends, this random guy on the street, your dungeon master, whoever you want to tell, about what the hell is going on at the last Blockbuster in the world. So the idea is, I've got a Blockbuster themed show. They're a Blockbuster video. Why not we start this relationship? And they seem to be down for it. So right now, unless things change, the Talkbuster podcast is your go-to place for all information about the last Blockbuster in Bend, Oregon. And it's the next best thing to going there and walking right in the store or just calling them up and talking to them on the phone. So with that, Sandy has set up a special email address to do all merchandise requests, to do all of this, so they're not getting phone call bombed. So don't call the store if you want to buy something. They're very busy. Again, this is still a functioning Blockbuster that makes money, despite what you may think. This isn't, this isn't a novelty. This is a real thing, and they're real people, and they're actually making money, and they're actually getting up and putting their blood, sweat, and tears into bringing you movie rentals every day. So, the best thing is to use this email address. It's blockbusterbend@gmail.com, and I'm going to show it on the screen for you too, if through technology. But again, that's blockbusterbend@gmail.com. You'll be able to tell them what you want. I'm going to show photos during this and at the end of this of everything you can get. And I'm sure through that email, they can also send you photos so you'll be able to see the prices and everything. So again, the Talkbuster podcast with me, Chris Chipman, your one-stop shop for everything at the last Blockbuster on the planet. If you want to buy anything you've seen in this unboxing video, go to blockbusterbend@gmail.com and get me to $300 on my Patreon, and you can get some free stickers from the last Blockbuster in the world, Blockbuster in Bend, Oregon. I'd like to thank Sandy Harding, Ryan Harding, the rest of the crew at Blockbuster in Bend, Oregon, and the owners who apparently have owned the store since before it was a Blockbuster video in the early 90s, for continuing to give people this wonderful place to come and rent videos and to strip away all of the corporate insanity that the company once was and turn it into what me and my friends working there always thought it was, which was a home, like I said, a place you could go, hang out, talk about movies, and just make people happy. And that's kind of what I want to do with this show too, is just be happy. So again, The photos for everything you can that you can buy from them are going to come up here. BlockbusterBend@gmail.com. Get some free stickers. Get me up over $300. And if you're in the Bend, Oregon area, or you want to fly out there and go on a pilgrimage, go visit Sandy and the rest of the crew. Have a good night. Thank you guys for making it a Talkbuster night or day or whenever you're watching this. Bye for now.
With thousands of great movies at great prices, Blockbuster Video has something for everybody. Save big on great gifts like this.